This program shows drugs being made, sold, and used. It features graphic content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Detroit.
I call it Sin City, bro. Because every day it's like happening.
There's one time of year when anarchy rules, and the Motor City drug dealers have to make a killing. Halloween.
Halloween in Detroit, the rave scene goes crazy. They want to pop drugs nonstop. It's nasty out here.
Halloween makes more money than Christmas does.
Over a frantic 48 hours, the police are clamping down, and the dealers are tooling up.
Gotta have a gun with me. I'm not ready to stop what I'm doing right now.
For Devil's Night with a difference.
It's like the devil be over Detroit.
Once the crown jewel of American industry, 2/3 of Detroit's population has left the city. And with high unemployment, some see dealing as a matter of survival. Now, as the city recovers from bankruptcy, holidays like Halloween offer an excuse for those Detroiters looking to escape their woes, and a chance for dealers looking to score.
Hustle is Detroit. That's all we do every day. Like, you got blue collar hustle, you got white collar hustle, you got the street hustle. Everybody's hustling 24/7, 365 in Detroit.
Rhino runs a gang of 6 street dealers who supply a variety of drugs.
We got ecstasy pills, heroin, we got acid, we got weed, of course. Anything you desire, we can get it for you.
It's the day before Halloween, and Rhino's last delivery has just arrived.
Most profitable drug was cocaine.
He's bought 2.5 kilos.
We generally get our cocaine from Chicago. We bring it in, break it down, distribute it in the places we needed to have it at. But during Halloween times, it picks up. It gets a little bit crazier, you know. Users need what they need, so we supply.
Rhino hopes to double his money by earning $50,000 over the next 2 days.
Increase as we go. Money grows. We just try to buy more product and expand. So always expansion is on the agenda.
But for Rhino to move volume, he has to put pressure on his dealers.
Money has to come back. And the name of the game is to get rid of the product as fast as you can. Or you can end up, you know, in a river somewhere. The drugs and guns come with the territory in Detroit. And the violence, you know, that's inevitable and is going on constantly.
Although authorities are starting to clean up the city, money is scarce and the job is huge. Nearly 80,000 derelict buildings, meanwhile, provide perfect cover for the drug trade. Rhino's best street dealer will use this cover to sell 1/2 kilo of cocaine over Halloween.
Pure, no cut, no nothing. Cane, pure cocaine. Gotta get that money with it. This will take you out the hood. And it put you in prison too, but hey, these are chances we taking. This is a spot that somewhere we know is open while we patrolling our block, because we got another vacant one across the street. I peeped the situation. I'm gonna put it somewhere they ain't gonna wanna go. I get that phone call, they need it. I know where I put it at. Only I know where I put it at.
Jellybean knows this old building well.
Being in here giving me the chills.
It was his childhood home.
As you look at it now, it's burnt down, bombed out, but this used to be beautiful.
His family used to deal drugs out of it until a rival gang tried to take over.
Neighborhood cats in the hood jealous because they can't get the good product like they want to get. Tried to burn us out, shot through the front window. As you see the bullet holes right there. Come on. My father, he was laying on the couch. They threw the firebomb through the back window. They wanted him to run out through this door, but he was smart because he ran the door, they would have killed him. They tried to kill us, but they couldn't stop us.
For Jelly Bean, Halloween is an opportunity to cash in, but he has to be careful.
Halloween can be dangerous. You don't know behind that mask. You don't know if he's trying to get you. Devil's Night, they call it Devil's Night here.
In the 1980s and 90s, Halloween in Detroit became notorious for arson. But locals fought back to protect the streets and abandoned buildings.
We do not have to keep destroying our neighborhood. We have to try to build our neighborhood.
It now means the police can concentrate on fighting other crimes. Not that Jelly Bean is concerned.
We ain't worried about the police. The dealers just don't give a. He ready to shoot, rob, and take to get his hustle. They can't control. If I want to sell my sack right here, this is what I do.
Jelly Bean deals around the infamous 8 Mile Road. It's a dividing line. To the south, the dealers in inner city Detroit. To the north, the users in more affluent suburbs. In the middle, the police.
We can take away the dealer, we can take away the user. All of it's a battle. We try and eliminate all of it.
With Detroit police low on resources, it often comes down to the suburban forces to catch the dealers. But first, the dealers have to step into their jurisdiction.
A lot of our dealers stay in Detroit, come and meet their subjects on 8 Mile. They won't even cross the border.
The team uses undercovers to set up eyes, even though street dealers are getting wise.
And these dealers know if you're a cop, and they'll sniff you out and know something's not right. But if we see something that looks suspicious or something looks wrong, to get out of there.
The undercover officer, or UC, is parked up on the suburban side of the 8 Mile Road.
Yo, what's up, man?
And is on the phone to the dealer.
Whoa, no way, bro.
Nearby units are listening in and are ready to pounce at the slightest sign of danger.
No offense to you, man. I don't really around the city like that, you know? Last time I went down there, I got flick coming back. I stand out like a sore thumb.
He's trying to change the location of the deal right now. We need that greed for him to make that money to overcome the fear of crossing 8 Mile. And that's the cat and mouse game that we're always battling, you know, with all these dealers. He's got to take that gamble.
No, I see you. Man, I ain't no police, you know that.
The dealer's getting suspicious.
You ready for a foot chase?
It's the same going over here, man. We're in a parking lot. There's cars around. Nobody's gonna suspect.
Sticks to roller, knuckles. If this doesn't work out, we'll take him down.
Man, you know damn well ain't no police. Sticks, he's getting coming. I don't know if you want to try to take him there or not.
Get in position, roller, roll with me.
The team has to act fast before the dealer slips back into Detroit and out of their jurisdiction.
You should see him there. He's on your own. It's the only pedestrian out of the forest.
I got him. You're under arrest. Hands behind your back. I ain't even getting down.
Man, I ain't got nothing on me, bro.
You got the crack.
I don't know what you talking about, bro. I ain't got nothing on me.
Without evidence, it'll be hard to bust him.
He threw something down back there, guys. Got it? Hey, I watched you throw it down.
I had nothing, man.
How many rocks?
Just one fat one.
We had watched him pitch this cellophane wrapper to the ground. He didn't acknowledge even having this and know what we're talking about, but we recover it, and there's your crack cocaine.
One dealer down.
I'm from the home where the boys will leave you without a hope in hell. A lonely world, I used to think you would know me well.
In Detroit, much of the drug dealing happens in small gangs or cliques based in one area.
It's hoods. We're not a gang city. Hoods stick together. Ain't no colors around here. It's about the money, green. Them the colors we represent, green.
Jelly Bean prefers to deal cocaine with people he knows.
Good to see you, bro. What you been doing, man?
Man, keep my head above
man. You gonna take chances, but I ain't gonna take too many of them. We keep it in a circle, man.
And Halloween is a big opportunity to cash in.
Around Halloween time, everybody wanna get high. You gotta prepare for it. They want it all. If you want the money, you gotta make sure you got it.
While parties happen throughout October, they build to a frenzy on Halloween night.
What's up, baby girl?
That means getting the drugs partygoers want in advance.
No, I ain't got no mollies. I'll hit you up if I get some. Just keep your phone on. All right, one.
Molly, or pure MDMA, is a powerful stimulant. Its effects can last for up to 6 hours. While Jelly Bean's cocaine is trafficked from South America via Chicago, party drugs like Molly come in from the north, Canada. Detroit is the only major U.S. city with its downtown on the Canadian border, the perfect spot for onward distribution and local retail.
You take one of these triple stacks, you can be in it for 18, 20 hours. Barely any cut on them. You up, full go, one pill.
Street dealers Ziggy and Casper claim to specialize in some of the strongest party drugs in Detroit.
I like the quick and the fast money.
And my Molly's pure MDMA, no cut, straight from Canada. And then my XC has probably been stepped on once. You notice the dark color, that means it's cut with like a downer. It's gonna bring you down. Your crash is gonna be a lot harder, but you're gonna be up a long time before that crash hit you. You gotta hydrate. When you want them, you gotta hydrate, otherwise you might explode. Blood boiling. We read up, I say last Sunday, going into the week.
Over Halloween, their product is in high demand.
We had 3 jars of these.
Oh yeah, about 300 pills.
And then we had 2 ounces of the Molly. This is what's left of everything.
It's easy money.
Man.
But they're still waiting for new supplies.
I got 8 left. I was finna go drop off 5. It's one of my homies.
While they only deal party drugs, in Detroit, no one takes chances.
Ain't finna be no robbing me. I go nuts for mine.
Detroit, the day before Halloween. Molly dealers Ziggy and Casper head west into the suburbs.
Be cool.
Students are their best customers.
Are you ready for me?
You get kids here who are filthy rich because mommy and daddy are doctors, so they got money to blow every night. Anywhere from the nerd in his room all night to the football player who just scored all the touchdowns. They're all doing it. Pretty much every day. These kids are out here getting
So cool. She rocks steady, baby, won't you kiss?
Ziggy is always looking to expand.
You know, we'll bump into like a girl like her. I walk up on her, what's up? Play a little role for a minute. What's up? What you doing today? Oh yeah, where's the parties at tonight? Oh yeah. Well, I'll give them like a free one right there sometimes if I got it on me just loose. Oh yeah, everyone does that. I give them my number. And then after that, they call. They keep calling.
They split up to cover the area.
You take my religion.
All right, man.
I'm just trying to make a living for you.
Quick little 300.
If I could find my way.
Hey, money, money, money. Kids want to do drugs, go crazy. So right around this time of month, come up here and just get it off. Everything goes.
When it comes to Halloween, Ziggy and Casper are looking to cash in.
Man, on Halloween in Detroit, the rave scene goes crazy. It's nasty out here, and the party's just nonstop. They want to pop drugs, so it's just action all through October. This Halloween, I hope to make at least $15,000 from my pocket. And then go back to the store, come right back, make some more.
A profitable Halloween will allow them to step up their operation. But they're still waiting for fresh supplies. Stocks in the city are low, thanks to a recent bust.
We had a huge one just north of here, which was a huge ecstasy bust. An actual aircraft that flew in from Canada, a low flyer.
It's CBP's job to stop the drugs coming over from Canada.
Detroit sector is kind of a unique sector within all of the United States due to it being a complete water border with Canada. So patrolling this area is a difficult task. If someone wanted to come across the border bringing drugs, there's so many different places that they can get access. As we get a little bit south, we're about to go see one of the busiest crossings in the United States.
The Ambassador Bridge in Detroit is the busiest commercial crossing on the northern border. It makes finding drug traffickers even tougher.
It's just the sheer mass amount of numbers that they see on a daily basis. It's a very difficult job. We have to win every day that we're out here. Bad guys, they only have to win once.
Above the traffic, the patrol can spot any drivers behaving suspiciously. Across the border,
Sometimes they get pulled over or anything, you know, sometimes the cops, they just mess with you for no reason. But if you're doing the speed limit, you're doing what you gotta do, everything should be good.
Cuckoo started trafficking 3 years ago.
At first, it was scary, but I needed extra money to take care of my kids. You know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it for a minute and I'm gonna get out of it. I just could never get out of it. I make $3,000 a trip, 4 trips a month. It's fast money. You need fast money? That's what we do.
It's 30 hours till the big Halloween raves, and her connections in Detroit are keeping her busier than ever. She's in Canada heading to the bridge. It's her 4th trip in 2 weeks.
It's real busy, you know. I think this is gonna be the busiest Halloween year yet. Everybody having parties and carrying on. Halloween makes more money than Christmas does. So Halloween is big.
But doing more trips could raise suspicion.
About to pull up to the bridge.
She's got to be extra careful.
Always wear your seatbelt. You know, make sure your mirror's good. Always use your blinkers whenever you turn left or right.
If Cuckoo gets caught, the stakes could not be any higher.
Put the camera down, put the camera down.
At the Detroit border with Canada.
Just visiting my sister. Headed back home.
It's the day before Halloween, and drug trafficker Cuckoo is busy. She's attempting her 4th trip across in just 2 weeks.
Thank you. Have a good day.
What makes her a popular trafficker is that she prefers not to know exactly what she's bringing in.
I prefer not to know. I mean, it could be money, it could be drugs, it could be anything. I don't ask any questions. I just follow the instructions I'm given.
On this trip, she's making a dead drop and doesn't even know who the package is for.
They just tell me where to go. I drop off, I get my money, go on by my life.
Today's drop is Molly. And with the shortage in the city, it's not long before it's picked up.
Ideal Molly, as pure as it can get, 84% pure before being acetone washed. The purest MDMA you can get in Detroit.
Mountain's a middleman, collecting from traffickers and then selling in bulk to street dealers.
The street value of my product is $1,800 an ounce. The more you pick up, the better deal I give you. The longer you're around, the better deal I give you.
The latest delivery must be up to standard, or his street dealers won't pay full price.
Alrighty. Right here is the whole ounce, but you prefer it to be in rocks. Of course, there is some powder in there. and show you how crystallized it is. Customers will be happier with rocks than with powder just because they know that it is real. Right there. Test I'm gonna use is Mickey. On the scale, you want it to test dark blue. It should take about 2 seconds to react. I see how quick it's reacting. Turns dark blue, almost black, which is actually a great thing because of how quick it turned. That means that it is 84% without being acetone washed.
Often Molly dealers like to add other chemicals to their product in order to stretch it. But this batch is nearly pure.
Some people cut it with coke or Vicodin, heroin, and it's the worst feeling in the world. You know, it makes you sick to your stomach. You literally feel like you're dying. And that's just because they're greedy and they want more money, and you know, you're risking your customers' lives, which is the one thing you don't want to do. How are you gonna get money when your customer's dead? With Molly, you don't have to worry about getting greedy because you buy an ounce for $1,800, you can flip that entire ounce for $2,800, almost doubling your money at least. Once you get greedy, that's when you get caught.
The night before Halloween, and Border Patrol is stepping up its watch.
We see ecstasy coming from Canada, and you know, whether they're mixing in 5-gallon pails in the garage or what, you know, that's the danger. These individuals are playing kind of a drug Russian roulette. Certainly is Halloween, the party time, that will see a greater usage locally.
Since he last appeared on Drugs, Inc., Mark Hall and his team have seized over $1.5 million worth of drugs.
We're going to head to the area where we've seen the smuggling in the past. It's a pretty active spot, definitely some cross-border nexus.
Mark's on the lookout for anyone trafficking drugs into or around the city. He's heard talk of a new batch of Molly in town.
We always have to be prepared. Unfortunately, I've seen the results of some of this with some of the ecstasy in Molly where it's actually caused death here in Detroit.
Molly distributor Mountain has just picked up a new consignment from Canada.
We prefer to stay off the road as much as possible. The more you're on the road, the sooner someone's gonna catch on. I would rather not have some cop pull me over and get one of the biggest busts of his life.
Mountain prefers to stay out of sight and in control. But it's almost Halloween, and he's got to get the drugs to his dealers.
All the people I deal with, I've known for years. Before I even sell to you, I need address, where you work at, because you never know, some guy can come up to you and be the cops.
This guy's driving real kind of goofy down here. We're at Dearborn and Harbaugh. I'm gonna light him up.
It's the night before Halloween, and Detroit Border Patrol agent Mark Hall has just pulled over a car.
How you doing tonight? Good, you have a driver's license?
Hall spotted something.
Okay, why don't you keep your hands where I can see them, okay? I need you to step out of the vehicle, okay? Go ahead and keep your hands out of your pockets.
Across town, Molly distributor Mountain is still one step ahead of the law.
Everyone always meets me where I want to meet. It's always on my terms, so I can feel safer, so I can scope out the area before you even get there.
For him, it's all about control.
If you get popped with this, it's on you. Don't bring it back to me. All right, there's your zip. Re-up will be next week.
Mountain's work is done. But for Agent Hall,
He's got dope everywhere in here, dude.
the night has just begun.
Straw consistent with use for cocaine. A lot of paraphernalia in here. And more marijuana in here. These are delivering is what they're doing. Yeah, right. You know, you sold $7,000 worth of weed tonight is what you've done.
Yes,
and you're
we did.
still out here slinging. I may be old, but I can still spot a bad guy.
I've been having this vision, breaking out of these walls, busting out of this prison, either rise or you fall.
It's finally Halloween morning in Detroit. The distributor's job is done. Now the pressure switches to the street dealers.
This is the toast of the underdogs. Now we doing it our way. Light 'em up, light 'em up.
Nickel bags. Some use scales, some don't. You don't need no scale. We eyeball work.
When it comes to Halloween, Jelly Bean has a new tactic. Cash in on the partygoers downtown with pure cocaine and marijuana.
When you come to Detroit, you're gonna look for some weed, you're gonna look for some cocaine, you're gonna look for the ecstasy pills. You're not gonna find that on every corner here.
Partygoers are usually happy to pay a higher price, and that means higher profits. But it also means Jelly Bean is out of his hood and on other dealers' turf.
You gotta stay focused, because your first time could be your last time. What we call these throwaways. Because just in case you gotta get rid of it, you can't be running with it, you can't get caught with it, just throw it away. Get you a new one. Small, handy. If I ain't show you, you wouldn't know I had it. So you gotta weave your ways and make sure you connect with the right people. There's a lot of snakes out here. Yeah, don't shoot at you. I'm gonna shoot at you if I feel like you're trying to take me out. At the end of the day, I know I'm killing you, but guess what? I gotta eat.
It's the night Detroit has been waiting for. Halloween. The parties are beginning to kick off all around the city. In the suburbs, Warren police are off to work. They're heading to the city line, known as 8 Mile, the same area Jelly Bean is based.
We are going to execute a search warrant for a person who has felony warrants for delivery of narcotics, both heroin and cocaine.
The police have heard there's a street dealer who's looking to cash in on Halloween.
The suspect we're after has made statements in the past that, you know, no one's going to arrest me. You know, the police, I'm not afraid of the police. The raid team in the van are directly ahead of us. If any shots fired or anything like that, just retreat to the back to this vehicle. All right, start rolling, Knuckles.
Please!
Keep hitting that door. Hold there, hold there. I got him. Call the first floor clear.
But just when they think they've cleared the house,
We got a basement still.
they find another door.
Going left, right.
Police!
It's Halloween in the Detroit area, and Warren police have just raided a suspected drug dealer's house near the city line.
Basement, clear.
They make a shocking discovery.
Syringes used for heroin in the kids' clothing.
Kids' clothing and needles, my favorite combination. We have needles in 3 rooms. Holy cow, pharmacy in here?
Backpack was full of those.
There's pills that are in other people's names.
Prescription pills are often used by addicts or sold to pay for other illegal drugs.
Bunch in here for Vicodin.
Xanax, really
Xanax.
commonly abused that system.
Amphetamines.
And there's more drug paraphernalia in a back room.
These are the glass stems they use to smoke the crack cocaine.
Set them down the front.
The dealer tried to fortify the house.
They had a door barricaded with a couch next to it, so they had a little bit of resistance when they came in. They hit the door, but then they had to go over a couch to get into the house.
Now Sergeant Sticks and his team can clear the house.
I'm not gonna leave them with pills here that they can keep selling. This is gross, disgusting disaster.
Police. Somebody in trouble with the...
Back in Detroit, Jellybean's leaving his hood in search of partygoers.
Downtown, it's $1 million spot. There's gonna be money down there. You will get more money down here than being in the hood. Money flowing all the time. Plenty action. Pure cocaine, that's the main thing you're gonna find down there. I ain't even can't worry about getting caught.
But with other dealers already working the downtown turf, the risks are high.
It's territorial in the city, man. You gotta know what you're doing and how to maneuver it, how to get it off. Where's the best place to do it? You gotta be real about it, because they will cut you quick. They will kill you, rob you, take whatever they need.
Jellybean doesn't worry about the police when he's in his own hood. But downtown, it's a different matter.
Detroit police, K9s, they here, border control. That's crazy.
Across town,
Got the goodies, got the goodies.
dealers Casper and Ziggy have picked up the delivery of Molly.
549 hooked us up.
They still have 200 pills to make,
Man,
and the doors have already opened at their chosen sales spot, an illegal rave.
they know kids are gonna be in there off drugs, all sorts of drugs. Molly, acid, ecstasy, all that. But it's more or less, yeah, making sure nobody's bringing no weapons in there. So they're not gonna be digging all in my...
They're confident of getting in with the drugs.
Man, we crotch it, get up in there. Stick it up in my crotch. Walk through security. Getting it in is the easy part, it's just being alert while you're in there.
It's gonna be a busy night. The calls are already coming in.
What up, dog? How many of them you want? 4? Yeah, I got you.
Boom, 1100. 2 bands. Where'd you go?
In areas of the community that money's tight, the currency that flows there is drugs.
Wyatt's only been in the job for 12 months, but he's already seen some shocking things.
A few months ago, I rolled up on scene. It was thought to be a drug overdose. The patient was exhibiting flu-like symptoms and vomiting. What it actually turned out to be is they had crushed up and snorted bed bugs. The city of Detroit, they have a lot of drug-related calls. On average, 15 to 20 calls go out a night.
It's not long before Wyatt gets a call. An AK-47 shooting just outside downtown.
Let's just get him out there.
But when the team goes in,
Everyone down here?
they find multiple victims.
There's one upstairs. How bad's the other one?
They've got to prioritize.
How bad is she?
She's got a bullet through in her butt.
She seems stable. I think he's a little more serious.
A man has suffered a wound to the groin.
Go ahead and lay back, man. Lay back. We'll get you out of here, okay? He's heavy, man. I think the girl's fairly stable. We can take her too.
The shooting has all the hallmarks of a turf war.
I think they were in the house. I think I saw some bullet holes through the front window. They're saying it was an AK-47. Sounds about right. The guy's a pretty good sized hole in his leg.
The patient isn't responding.
We'll get some vitals and go.
So Wyatt steps on the gas.
Let me know when we're close.
The nearest hospital is only 6 minutes away. They've got to race to get there.
Hang in there, okay? We're almost there.
Before he goes into shock.
Hey, Wyatt, what's our ETA?
Detroit, Halloween. Paramedics Wyatt and Andrew get their shooting victim to the hospital just in time.
He's pretty lucky. The femoral artery runs right there, and if you hit that, I mean, you could bleed out pretty quickly.
Downtown, street dealer Jellybean is also riding his luck. He's trying to sell cocaine, but he's got a problem.
How you doing tonight? Good. You have a driver's license?
Border Patrol. It's hot as hell right now. You just see the police and the canine dogs. With them canines, you can't get past them. Got the building surrounded. They're investigating something, some type of narcotics going on. So you know it's real slow. But just everybody hiding, getting out the way right now. Detroit police, Halloween's that season.
With the police still on the street, Jellybean's now lost 2 hours of dealing time.
We about to get the up out of here, man, try to find somewhere else. So we can get this paper, man. And I ain't about to take no chance.
Molly dealers Ziggy and Casper have got past security and into their Halloween rave.
I damn near kept these in my pocket and they ain't even patting us down. They checking ID and letting you go. Molly on deck, Molly on deck.
30 per pill.
They're offering high quality at a high price.
As pure as you gonna get it damn near coming up here.
But a recent batch of bad Molly has made people reluctant to buy.
Man.
The pills that I got had all crystal meth in it. I didn't know. I ended up taking 5, and that was a really bad experience. I ended up staying up for 3 days straight. I didn't have an appetite. I had these pounding headaches. I thought it would never stop. Like, I thought I was just going to be awake for 7 days. I didn't sleep at all.
With pills like Molly, it's hard to tell what's inside.
There's just blind faith in the dealer. It's either made by a good chemist or a bad chemist, and if you get the good chemist, then you're golden.
Word has finally got around about the quality of Ziggy and Casper's Molly.
What up, bro?
Straight from Canada.
And sales are picking up.
They wrapping it all up, man. Everybody's taking pills.
But the longer they stay in one place, the greater the chance they'll get spotted.
I got off more than half my jab already. I should have the rest of the going in the next like 30, 40 minutes if I just keep moving. Get up out this.
Theirs isn't the only illegal rave on the cops' radar. Border Patrol responds to a call for help from a local Detroit police force.
The DJs are selling the dope, and it's coming out of the bathroom, too.
They're preparing for the worst.
Like I said, we got the UCs inside, so be careful. They're not armed or anything like that because they were patting them down when they went in. One of our UCs just made a buy, I'm not sure what yet.
With undercover officers inside the rave, the team has intel on the location, but not security.
Anytime where there's drugs involved, you're dealing with a lot of money. People tend to use guns to protect the money, protect the drugs.
So when they go in, they go in hard.
Face down, face down. Straighten your legs out, straighten your legs out. Face down, look at the floor. Don't be looking around, this ain't entertainment. Keep your hands where I can see him. Wanna get cuffed up? Look at the floor! You got any guns on you? No. Anything that's gonna poke me, stab me?
They must ensure the location's safe.
Got another gun right here. It was under 2 pillows. It was loaded. I just cleared it.
With everyone in custody,
It's got to be around here somewhere.
they can begin the search for drugs.
Yeah, well, he's got heroin. Huh? Looks like heroin, crack cocaine, marijuana. We're still searching for money.
See if you can read the number on any of these pills. You don't recognize any of these?
As the tally mounts up,
Ecstasy, oxycodone. That's going to be heroin.
Bury your head on the floor.
the team suddenly discovers someone in the bathroom.
Crawl up now. Crawl backwards. Crawl backwards. Now move. What do you have?
Coke in there.
Try dumping the Coke. The toilet doesn't flush, so it didn't work.
For some, it all gets too much.
Sometimes on these raids, we'll see the individuals swallow the drugs to avoid prosecution.
The raid also nets a major find.
Where? Good job, guys.
A new and dangerous drug for Detroit's Border Patrol to watch out for.
Looks like a pretty good sized piece of crystal meth. Not too common here in Detroit.
Not common at all. Walk straight over to that table. Those officers over there.
I'm from the home where them boys will leave you without a hope in hell. A lonely world, I used to think you would know me well.
Across town, Jelly Beans finally found a Halloween party.
Ain't nothing better than cocaine in the blow.
But it's a house party back in his hood.
Meet you at the corner. Be 25 for that. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I ain't putting nothing on. I'm gonna get it clear.
He can't charge downtown prices.
Hey, all right, bro. Got you.
So his profits will be down.
Have a good day.
Ziggy and Casper have dodged law enforcement at their rave. Now they can count their takings.
Man, came up on about like 8:50 out of that real quick. Popping. Nice. Quick little hour and a half work. Still rocking, man. I mean, there's one little party, and then we'll say the average of all the little frat parties, everything, we'll bring in about 15.
Now they'll be able to buy in bulk.
We go back to the crib, re-up, come back to the party. This party's just starting to jump.
They're not stopping yet. But for others, the party's over.
Yeah, the operation went real well. We got the 3 guns off the street, got a lot of drugs, and nobody's injured either on the perps or the police side. Not a bad haul.
But Jelly Bean's Halloween hasn't been a success.
A little slow night. It wasn't like what it's supposed to be. You know, they crack it down, all the police. It's gonna get better, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta roll with the punches.
He's still hoping he can bring some profits back to his street gang.
300, this ain't even the beginning. It's gonna pick up, gonna get greater every day. Get in, get out, go and take care of my business.
But for Jelly Bean, a successful Halloween isn't about the money. It's about survival.
Halloween, just crazy. People want to have doing crazy stuff. Somebody dying, they're gonna shoot at you. This ain't my dreams. Enemies coming from all angles at you. As long as you know you gotta make it up out of here alive. It's like the devil be over Detroit. That's why they call it the deep.